Good morning. Good morning. Oh my goodness. With everything that's happening in the world, it is a beautiful thing to have a relationship with the Most High. And my favorite way is praying and reading His Word. Favorite way of growing and being and experiencing and just, I'm speechless. I'm in love. I don't know if y'all can tell. I'm in love with the Most High. And it's no greater love. And the love that I have for him, it overflows into everybody's life that I'm in, and everybody, every single person that I come across. I meet no stranger, no stranger. I love people. Those who know me closely know how much I love people, and this is an exciting time for me, and an exciting time to get to know the Most High, because His Word is powerful, powerful. I am just elated to to be here. I'm elated to see my sister on. Hopefully this internet don't act a mess, because I know one time it was messing up on her. But good morning, good morning, good morning. We are in Exodus chapter 18, and I'm going to take a couple more minutes because people keep telling me to slow down. And so I'm going to slow down and give everybody who wants to enjoy an opportunity to enjoy the word with me. But yes, we're reading Exodus chapter 18. And this is teaching us about the Most High. Like, he's teaching us about him and his personality, and really it's like, how can you be in a relationship with somebody and you don't know him? The Torah teaches you us all about him. All about him. It explains a lot of why things are said the way they're said in the chapters following. And so I'm excited for everybody that's decided to take this journey presently, and those that will join in the future. We're going to jump right in. Exodus chapter 18. This is when Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, comes to visit him. And says, now Jethro, also his name may be Reuel, but we're just going to call him Jethro, the priest of the Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that God had done for Moses, and for Israel his people, and that the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after Moses had sent her back to her father, and her two sons, of whom the name of one was Gershom, which means expulsion or stranger there. For Moses said, I have been an alien in a strange land. And the name of the other was Eleazar, God is help. For the God of my father, said Moses, was my help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. And this was back when he left Egypt the first time. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with Moses' sons, and his wife to the wilderness, where he was encamped at the Mount of God, which is Horeb or Sinai. And he said in a message to Moses, I, your father-in-law, Jethro, good morning, cuz. I love you, girl. Verse 6, and he said in a message to Moses, I, your father-in-law, Jethro, am come to you and your wife and your two sons with her. And Moses went out to meet his father-in-law and bowed in homage and kissed him. And each asked the other of his welfare, and they came into the tent. And Moses told his father-in-law all the Lord had done to Pharaoh and the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and all the hardships that had come upon them by the way, and how the Lord delivered them. Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness the Lord had done to Israel, in that he had delivered them out of the hand of the Egyptians. Jethro said, "Blessed be the Lord who has delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who has delivered the people Israel from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all gods." That's an awesome place to pause. I know that the Lord is greater than all gods. Yes, in the very thing in which they dealt proudly, he showed himself infinitely superior to all their gods. And all Jethro, Moses' father-in-law took, and Jethro, Moses' father-in-law took a burnt offering and sacrifices to offer to God, and Aaron came with all the elders of Israel to eat bread with Moses' father-in-law before God. And I just want to back up to verse 11 when he says that he dealt and showed himself powerful to the gods. He used every plague that he used was a god that the Egyptians worshiped. And so he took their gods, that they worshiped the sun. But he made it 3 days of darkness where even their god, the sun god, could not stop them from being in that darkness that the Most High put over them. So that's one example of what Jethro was saying, how they used their gods. He used their gods to even show his power and how he was superior to them. Let's see. Then verse 13. Next day, Moses set to judge the people, and the people stood around Moses from morning till evening. And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he was doing for the people, he said, "What is this that you do for the people? And why do you sit alone, and all the people stand around you from morning till evening?" And Moses said unto his father-in-law, "Because the people come to me to inquire of God. And when they have a dispute, they come to me, and I judge between a man and his neighbor, and I make them to know the statutes of God and his laws." Moses' father-in-law said to him, the thing that you are doing is not good. You will surely wear out both yourself and this people with you, for this thing is too heavy for you. You are not able to perform it all by yourself. Listen now to me. I will counsel you, and God will be with you. You shall represent the people before God, bringing their cases and causes to him, teaching them the decrees and laws, showing them the way they must walk and the work they must do. Moreover, you shall choose able men from all the people, God-fearing men of truth who hate unjust gain, and place them over thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens to be their rulers. And let them judge the people at all times. Every great matter they shall bring to you, but every small matter they shall judge. So it will be easier for you, and they will bear the burden with you. If you will do this, and God so commands you, you will be able to endure the strain of all these people also and all these people also will go to their tents in peace. So Moses listened and heeded to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he had said. Moses chose able men out of Israel and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands and hundreds and fifties and of tens. And they judged the people at all times. The hard cases they brought to Moses, but the very small matter they decided themselves. Then Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way unto his own land. Yes, they said wisdom is in a multitude of counsel. And he was able to hear the wisdom and even see the glory of the Most High, of the Lord, bringing them out and praise and worship him for himself. And that is exactly what the Most High wants to do. He wants the work that he does to go abroad, so that anybody who sees it can appreciate it and get to know how powerful he is. Jethro wasn't even there. He wasn't even around when all of this was going on. But he was able to know for himself that God is superior to any other gods. Any situation, any circumstance, he is strong and mighty to deliver his people out of it. Now, who are his people? We are all his people. And I'm reading Ephesians chapter 2. And it's the little title here says, Jew and Gentile reconciled, brought together into one through Christ. Therefore, remember that formerly you who were Gentiles by birth. This part is where I pray that we understand who we are. That the God of the Israelites is our God as well. We too, and this will explain very, very, very well what we are now. We are citizens. We are citizens, joint heirs in the chosen people of Israel. It's beautiful. Verse 11 of chapter 2. Therefore, remember that formerly you who were Gentiles by birth and called uncircumcised by those who call themselves the circumcision, which is done in the body by human hands. Remember that at that time you were separate from Christ, excluded from citizenship in Israel, and foreigners to the covenants of the promise, without hope and without God in the world. But now, in Christ Jesus, you who once were far away have been brought near by the blood of Christ. For he himself is our peace, who has made the two groups one, and has destroyed the barrier, the dividing wall of hostility, by setting aside in his flesh the law with its commands and regulations. Which law? The circumcision law. He set that aside. He circumcised our hearts, not our flesh, as it was required to be in covenant with him. By setting aside in his flesh the law with its commands and regulations. His purpose was to create in himself one humanity out of the two, thus making peace, and in one body to reconcile both of them to God through the cross, by which he put to death their hostility. He came and preached peace to you who were far away, and peace to those who were near. So he preached peace to the ones who were circumcised, and peace to the ones who were not in the law of circumcision. For through him we both have access to the Father by one Spirit. Consequently, you are no longer foreigners and strangers, but fellow citizens with God's people, and also members of his household, built on the foundation of the apostles and prophets. So you got to read that information. You got to read about it. That's what that's saying in verse 20. With Jesus Christ himself, read about what the Most High did when he was on the earth as the chief cornerstone. In him, the whole building is joined together and rises and become a holy temple in the Lord. And in him, you too are being built together and become a dwelling in which God lives by his Spirit. Now catch that. It says you are being. This is a process. Paul is saying this is happening as we speak. And I am adopting the words of Paul in this moment and letting you all know, letting us know, declaring right now in 2018, as we speak, we are being built together and becoming a dwelling in which God lives by his Spirit. Trust me, there's no other experience that can top this experience that we are experiencing right now. I want you all to have a blessed and awesome day. I love you past your infinite dreams. You just don't even know. Y'all don't even know. But you have a great, great, great day. And shalom, which means